you, but
the
don't
things
try
that
to
you,
project your stuff on me because you
I'm
don't
not.
know.
I'm just saying the things.
You know what's interesting? The whole point of having a panel show is that you get representation for for the general population who are watching. The minute you take it personal, you got to hold the L. B. Taylor, you're like, and that's why I said she looked like she been look at the look on her face. I got her now. She's looking for the gotcha moment. Welcome back to Money, Marriage, and Media. I'm your host, Mike, and today we are looking to get 1,000 subscribers, right? That's the goal. That's what we're shooting for. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the notifications so you get all the updates when we got new content coming out. We are looking at Security Boss today. Now, she is, or the title of this video is, Are Women Still Standing by Their Man Through Tough Decisions? This clip, I think, comes to us by way of Cruise Season. Go sub to their channel too, because again, this is high level conversations. If you don't get a chance to check out their lives, and obviously the clips are what you're left with. So that's what we hear, and that's what we got. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started.
These amenities that I'm providing for you, which means you're waking up, you're doing what you want to do. You're going to the gym. You got girls.
Forgot to do one thing. We need to point out the married people on the panel. We need more married people making content. Got Trill AC, Queen Sheba, Ricky Williams, Unsolicited Security Boss, and yeah, let's go.
Girlfriends coming over, y'all sipping drink, gossiping, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So again, in that scenario, if you want to be a part of this marriage, or if you love me the way that you say you do, and if we're supposed to be building this together, where is your hammer? Where's your saw? Like, where's your toolbox? What the hell are you doing? What purpose do you serve me?
So
Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Find that out before you married her, because
Right.
literally any person.
I agree. See, this goes back to what another video that I did when we're talking about men. You need to have a plan for your life, because this will eliminate women like he's talking about who are not an asset to you. But you can't expect her to be an asset if you ain't got no plan. Like, how's she gonna be valuable to you? It doesn't make sense. Let's go.
Can cook and clean. You do not need to be a professional chef or a cleaning company. This is something that everybody, I'm hoping, is doing in their apartments or wherever they live right now. You know what I'm saying? So I would hope that you choose your woman based on more than that, so that it's not even a question of what else.
Right.
What else
You know what? 100% facts. I agree with that. We got to start peeling back the layers on this stuff, because too many times we let these people on these panels get away with these basic answers of, well, yeah, I cook and clean, so that should make me. No, it doesn't. Okay, that doesn't. You should already be doing that. Should be basics. Everybody, you should know how to keep your living space clean, and at some point, you got to learn to feed yourself. Because I get it, we in this country, we live a very fast-paced life that yields to us eating out all the time, right? But who's going to be cooking for your kids? At some point, you got to learn how to cook. I mean, I don't like cooking myself, but my daughters don't skip no meals, though. I get in the kitchen and I have to put it together. We got to figure it out, right? Eventually, I had to learn. Like, I don't like cooking, even though, well, look, you need to learn how to make a few dishes. Well, I'm going to cover that in another episode too, because that's good training for men. I think you should learn how to make at least a couple of dishes very well, right? To the point where you can make it without having to think about it. But the whole point is, well, let's keep going, because I think they're about to, yeah, let's go.
It's not about cooking and cleaning. It's about the woman availing herself for whatever the man wants her to do. Whatever. If anytime this man come home and he doesn't see his wife as an asset, he will want to get rid of her. So women, what we have to concentrate on is becoming an asset. So it's whatever your husband asks you to do. It doesn't have to be cooking and cleaning. It could be whatever he asks you to do. If cooking and cleaning is it, you do that. But it's not always about you and what you want to do, even though he has the money and you have the time. It's you check in with him first. Baby, what you need for me to do today?
100%. I think we need to, again, we're peeling back the layers here. What makes a good wife? being an asset to the husband. Now, now there's some open interpretation here, and we're gonna eliminate that altogether. This is women. This is where the hard part comes into you, because you got to figure out what kind of man he is. Does your skill set appeal to the way he wants his life to go? If it doesn't, if you can't be an asset to that man, you need to move on, because eventually he's going to look at you as dead weight. And all of a sudden now his eyes are going to start to wander, and his eyes and body are going to start to wander outside the marriage. So that's how you avoid that. That's how you keep a man at home. You be an asset to him, which means that you're irreplaceable, right? Because again, it's all about the plan. But what we have today is number one, we've got a lot of fault on the men, because we keep falling, blindly through life with no plan of what we want to do with our lives. And then these women come along, and because they're so fine, we marry them, not realizing that they're not helping. They're not designed to be an asset for where we want our life to go. But you can't figure that out if you don't know where you want your life to go. So that's got to be the first step, right? Now, the other thing, again, I keep talking about these processes that are broken in our community. The vetting process is one. It's a good example, right? There's a lack of trust particularly from the women in our community, as far as the men go. And it's not even strange men. I'm talking about men that you already know. The man that you would have, the male family member that you love and trust, that should be helping you vet the man that could potentially be your husband. Because that man is thinking like another man, right? It's okay. That's his skill. Then we can easily point out a man's skill set and say, "Oh yeah, well he he's got a good skill set there. That's what he's doing to make a life for himself." That makes sense. My daughter, not a good match. She's not. Her skill set's different. They don't line up. And you have to respect your father, or whoever, your uncle or whoever it is, to say, baby girl, you're not a good match for him. Not where he's going. Y'all not. So, ultimately that question or that statement gets followed up with a question that says, how much time you want to waste on a guy that doesn't have the same goals as you? Now, true enough, he may prove himself and change his plans, but if I was the guy, I wouldn't change. I would just go find somebody who's going to fit my lifestyle better, who is going to be more of an asset to me. So that's the way that's the way we got to start thinking about it. We need to come up with a plan for our legacy, because that's what most men want, right? Most husbands anyway. And you need to figure out, you need to be in search of who's going to be an asset to help you get to where you want to go. Ladies got to start recognizing that what is it that's going to make me an asset to this man. Security boss mentioned that, it's going to be whatever he's looking for. I agree with her if you're already married, right? But one, two, three, it's 4 people on this panel that's married. So it's a good mix. It's a half and half. It's good. It's good balance, trio. Yeah. But the point is that if you're dating, then you need to figure out what your strongest asset is. If it's your income, then, you're going to have to, we can relate this to security boss, because there are times when she's talked about her marriage where she was making more than her husband. If your greatest asset is your income, then you need to be willing to hand over your paycheck to him. And make sure that you have to be willing to trust him. You have to be willing to trust in his plan enough to do that, to make sure that he is going to take everything and that the plan is working and it's sound. Now, again, you can figure all that out through dating before you get married, right? You can have high-level conversations. That's how you feed that out. I'm not just saying you need to blindly hand over your check to a guy. No. That's why the vetting process is so important. But as it currently stands, again, the vetting process is broken in our community. You have to tread lightly. So that's one of the things. But look, we're getting off topic here. Let's get back on it and get back in.
Today. So you have to create this life that you want, because he did say we're building together. So you got to participate in the build. And then you can have exactly what you want. Trust me. You can. But you can't come in and just think he's going to do all the work and just act as though you deserve to be blessed. It doesn't work like that.
You can do that. Just understand that man's probably not going to marry you. You don't see men who are already built. If you're not irreplaceable to them, they view you as a plaything. High level conversation. You want a finished product? Then you got to be, your value has to be extremely high. And you need to be extremely rare from the man's perspective. Most women are not.
It doesn't work that way.
Is that what you do in your marriage?
Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
And that
And I
works
have
for you?
everything that you all ask for and want, I have.
You don't know what I want or asking
No,
for it.
no.
I don't want
Let's
what
say it
you
this
have.
way.
I don't make marriage my
Let's not
whole
make
life.
it personal.
I don't
Like,
make my identity.
She couldn't wait to get that out. She been holding that in this whole time. I don't know how long, but you can tell by the way. Hey, you know what? 1, 2, and 3. Sister code. Let's jump on security, boss. That's what's going on here. You know, what I find interesting is that it's not the first time I've seen this happen. So, you know what? Let's just keep going.
I don't make it my identity. It is to save me. I don't need a man to save me. Like,
I'm
maybe
just
that
saying
works
the
for
things that
you, but
the
don't
things
try
that
to project your stuff on me because you
I'm
don't
not.
know.
I'm just saying the things.
You know what's interesting? The whole point of having a panel show is that you get representation for for the general population who are watching. The minute you take it personal, you got to hold the L. B. Taylor, your life, and that's why I said she looked like she been. Look at the look on her face. I got her now. She's looking for the gotcha moment. This lady married and she keep talking about all this stuff. I got something for her. Congratulations. Meanwhile, our community is burning down in the background because we keep trying to this ain't even a gender war, but it's still dumb. I got the point the security boss is trying to make is that most women in our community say they want marriage. She's a married woman, and she's been married. So we're going to shame her because of her experience. Right. She don't have the marriage you want. Hey, that's great. You could have kept that to yourself. It wasn't a direct attack. It's a general statement. But hey, let's move on.
Things that you express.
You don't know what I express.
Oh, I've been listening to you. I've been hearing everything. Just a moment ago, you said, we're tired. Women tired of working so hard. So I'm assuming.
Did I say that? You have a real bad habit of putting words in people's mouth.
Now, if Ronan is nodding his head yes, because I remember this, I actually checked out this live. She did say that. But you got people on the panel who are nodding their head yes. Is this the need to be right? Is that what's going on here? Uh-oh. And you can't win that argument. She'd have to hold the L, but she's not going to. You can keep fighting. Now, let's see if, Kayla or Queen Sheba are going to jump in to save her.
That's not what I said.
Oh, you want to? Okay. Let's
play it back. Because we play it back.
Okay. 50-50. You was like, women tired of working so hard.
I said women don't want to work and be pregnant. Okay. Women don't want to be 9 months pregnant on their feet.
Well, that was my takeaway. Forgive me.
Yeah. Like I said, you can't win that argument. It's best just to move on because it's a dead end.
Yeah, but either way, as a modern woman, you want to live a certain way. You said you want to live a certain way. Not you particularly, but whoever you were talking about. And what I'm saying is I'm trying to share with you how to get it. But
I don't want it. I don't want
you don't want it?
anything with me.
There you go. And the high level conversation went right down the toilet. Like I said, community burning down in the background because we on here looking for the gotcha moment. Man, I'm telling you something. Okay, look, what did we learn here? Man, I don't even think this title might be a little off though, because are women standing by their man through tough decisions? Look, I'll go ahead and preface this by saying this. For the most part, no, they're not. And honestly, I wouldn't expect them to, just because of what we talked about before, about most men don't have a plan for how they want their life to go. So when you don't have a plan and then these tough times come out and you basically are in survival mode, right? Women don't like being in survival mode. Men, we can put our head down and go to work and we'll just power through it. Women are not like that. Remember, women are prone to change. So they want things to go up and down. When in a lot of cases, the bad times, you just have to power through them however long it takes. That's what it takes. But a lot of times women are not. That's why this is why you need a plan for your life. Because now when things look dark, okay, baby, I understand. Yeah, things are tough, but look, this is the plan. We just need to readjust. We have some short-term things that we have to power through, but there is daylight at the end. You know, we just move this to this and move this here, and we have to let this go, but we'll get it back later. You know, it's reassurances there. It's easy to reassure when you have a detailed plan that's easy enough to follow. Most men don't have it like that. We got to get back in the habit of doing that. You know, during the time when most of the majority of our community was married, it was easy enough to pick those things. Again, there are some societal norms that were happening at that, you know, because once you got a decent job, you stayed there for a lifetime. It's not like that anymore. So that means that their plan for life is even more important. At some point, I guess I'm gonna have to do a video about how you can plan out your life. Yeah, I know y'all don't like watching the financial stuff, I know, but it's going to become necessary because we need to start referencing these things so we can go back to it, right? Because again, a lot of times that's one of the secrets of marriage is that, you know, how do I avoid, because this is always a big issue, right? How do I avoid the 50% divorce rate? 50% divorce rate, I'm not getting married. Okay, but you know there are things that you can do to actually mitigate the risk and bring that divorce rate down, right? Relationships are about balance. I said that many videos ago. I can't even remember. But relationships are about balance. When things get out of balance, that's when people start talking about divorce. So you have to be able to balance the scales. You know, it's a good metaphor there. But look, guys, I'm starting to ramble on. So I'm going to say goes to the next time. Peace. Thanks for making it to the end of this video. But do me another favor. Like and subscribe. But also check out these here. Either subscribe or watch videos, one or the other. I don't know which side, but hey, all right.